You have to take that time and that energy and consider yourself worth it. A lot of you think, well, I ain't got time for journaling. What you're saying is you're not worth the time and the investment in identifying how you can improve yourself and put yourself on the highest degree of performance. That's really what you're saying when you say, I do not want to journal. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put a progress of measuring my progress in black and white in front of me where I can look at where my progress started and where I'm at today. That's how you know you can do it, because you see the things that you're learning. See, if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it. If you don't write it down, you're never going to remember it and revisit it. If someone, after you were long gone, finds your journal, are they going to read the diary of a madman that was so abusive to themselves? Or, wow, this person was very encouraging to themselves, and I can see that they have identified their progress. See, you all want to see trade statistics. Bro, show me your MyFX book. Bro, show me that you got on the leaderboard on the funded account challenge or whatever it is. I can't think of that. I don't know how they work, but I know TopStat has a leaderboard. I don't know if the other companies do. Get on the Robbins Cup or we don't believe you. Okay? This is a litmus test for idiots. It is. It really is. Because what you're saying is you have to see somebody else show you something. And let's be honest. If everything's shown to that type of person, they're still not going to do anything. They're just going to be mad and huff and puff and just go and try to troll somebody else. So it's not that they want to be inspired to learn how to do what you're learning how to do. They're just in here to trying to find some kind of talking point. But you do very similar things in the beginning if you're not guarded. You want the opinions of others to support you and encourage you. Why should anybody that's not a part of this community think now? If they're not already a part of this group here, why would you expect them to encourage you? That's insanity. You're asking someone on the outside to have the same perspective or a higher opinion of what you're trying to do and learn than you do yourself. And then you're weighing the delivery of that opinion being favorable for you as a basis for you to continue. Going up to a blind man and say, hey, which flower here is prettier? Is it this one here in my right hand, or which one is it the left hand or the right hand? Which one's prettier? How the fuck does he know? And that's exactly what you're doing with everybody else. You're saying, hey, look, what do you think? The only thing they got to go on is everybody else's opinion. And if it's a positive, you're a cultist. You're all brainwashed. You're not seeing me call price. You're not seeing me execute. You're not seeing those things. You're not seeing other students making real money with it. You're not seeing that. They ignore that. So how can you take their opinion as balanced? It never happens. But because they know that your mentality is wrapped around this 30-second TikTok duration. You have short attention spans. You're wondering why people are stupid today? It's because they've stopped teaching. It's all about feelings. It's about having experiences online. We don't have conversations anymore. You don't sit down and write with a pen and pad a letter, or sit down and type out a letter. It's throw it to me in a text, throw it to me in a post on social media, and hey, you're my buddy, you're my friend. That's bullshit. When I talk to you, I care about the audience that's I'm targeting. I'm talking to my children. That's why you listen to me, because you feel this sense of urgency for me to communicate this importance. Because the audience is my own flesh and blood. So I'm not going to shortchange them. I don't give a fuck if Tom, Dick, and Harry's fucking mentorship guy out there says he talks too much. He could have did this and did that. These people that do these 5-minute trainers, they're not doing shit. They're wasting your time, because the only thing they're doing is creating these very barriers that you don't realize are going to be appearing in front of you. You want it to happen for you fast. Well, guess what happens? When you try to do it and it doesn't happen fast for you, what do you think? Man, I can't do this. When I'm telling you, expect it going in, it's going to be hard. When you come into this, you're all dirt. You're just dirty. You don't have anything that shines. Nothing. You have a desire, but you're still just dirt. There's nothing that shines about you as a trader. But you have to refine that, go through a process, and change that. And then you can mold that. Apply a little bit of sweat. What's that? That's moisture. And you can now take that dirt and shape it into something, mold it like pottery. And you shape that future self after constantly refining it. And it doesn't happen overnight. And I've never said it's going to be a fast process. I said it's going to be a lot of work. Not because it's hard to learn these things. The concepts are straightforward. As I was talking about yesterday on the live stream in the last hour of trading. The people that say it's complicated or I complicate trading, it's not. I actually have created more opportunities to trade. But in the hands of someone that wants to be self-defeating or self-destructive, those tendencies that are inside you that you haven't identified and wrestled them into submission and subduing them, those demons that are in you, if you don't have a way of subduing them, if you weaponize them where they can hurt you financially, they're going to jump on that opportunity every single time. And they're going to leave you demoralized, regretful, and eventually it's going to beat you down and you're going to be in depression. And depression is a physical feeling. It's something, it's not just, I don't feel good about myself, psychologically or emotionally. No, you feel depression. It's painful. And if you live in it long enough, it'll affect your health. You develop anxiety. You develop all these physical symptoms that you think that are emergencies when they're not. They're just physiological responses to things that our body has been created to give us. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Everybody's equipped with this. But the way you regulate these two nervous systems that's in everybody's body, the anatomic nervous system is, everybody has it. We don't think about breathing. It just happens, right? Have you ever had a moment, my wife said this to me about a month ago. She goes, I'm not sure how to describe this to you, but I feel like I forgot how to breathe. Because I've had anxiety before, I have perfect understanding of what she means. And maybe that probably struck a chord with some of you that are listening, where all of a sudden you think to yourself, I got to breathe more. I have to breathe faster and I have to breathe deeper. Nothing has changed. There's no immediate threat in the room with you. No one has jump scared you. No one's come out and tried to grab you and pull you into a van, teach you how to trade. These whole things of spontaneous anxiety, they may start off mildly like feeling like I can't catch my breath. Something's going on. If I don't consciously think about breathing, I feel like I'm going to stop. And what happens if I stop breathing? I'm probably going to die. And if this happens right before you go to sleep, guess what you're not doing? Sleep. So if you have problems with sleep, I don't have problems with sleep. Okay, when I talk about my sleep schedule, I have doctors tell me, you need to have 8 hours of sleep. Bullshit. You don't need 8 hours of sleep. When I was a working man, I needed 9 hours of sleep. I needed that because I was already keyed up as an individual. That's why I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink coffee. As a trader, if you don't have a complete mastery of yourself and you're drinking stimulants like coffee, because it has caffeine in it, what you're doing is you're literally pouring gas on a fire. And if you're not careful, you will cause yourself health problems later on that you really don't want. There's a right way to do this, folks. And you can live in a very balanced state. And you hear me talk, and I sound imbalanced now because I want to maintain your attention. That's what this is. It's all about making sure that you don't fall asleep. Because it's real easy to fall asleep listening to me because it's not about making money right now. But it is about making money. You can't make money consistently until you master yourself, until you subdue these intrusive thoughts, until you subdue these demons that you're wrestling with that you have made house guests. You turn a blind eye. Oh, yeah, it's fucking Joe. He doesn't have a job. Always sits around, plays fucking Xbox all day long, eats up everything, doesn't buy anything, never takes a fucking bath. He stinks the whole house all up. But, He's now part of the furniture here. He's a staple here in the house. So I don't like to interact with them, but I know they're there. I can't do anything to get him out. I don't want to kick him out. He's a loved one. He's a family member. That's what you've done with these demons, these things that you hold on to. You guard them. You protect them. Instead of saying, get the fuck out of here, you don't belong here. You have no more business here. You're not holding me back no more. You're not a problem for me anymore. Get the fuck out. Replace it with something positive. I'm scared to take a trade. Why? Why are you afraid to take a trade? Because you have no model. You don't have a model because you had this demon constantly telling you that's not going to work. Don't even bother putting any time into this. You're going to sit here and look back and I wasted 3 months if you get that far into it. And you're going to half-ass it when you say you're journaling. You're going to scribble a couple fucking words, draw a little diagram of something, draw, swing high or swing low, and draw a line there and say that's an order block. Look, I did the journaling. Look at this. This guy's a liar. Bro, I have people that have showed their journals to me, and they're like the Encyclopedia Britannica. It's volumes of shit. That's somebody that's going to do so much in the industry. It's crazy. Like, that's exactly the high end of what I'm encouraging from all of you. You don't need to be that far with it. But you have to record your progress. You have to record that. Otherwise, how can you reasonably comfort yourself when you feel like you want to quit? What do you have to hang your hat on when you feel like you don't want to do it anymore because you had a week of drawdown? What happens when you blow your account? What happens when you lose your funded account? What happens when you can't pass that funded account challenge and you don't have the money to spend on it again until the next paycheck? And then you got to wait. And you're thinking to yourself, maybe if I don't pay Netflix, maybe if I get rid of this and I get rid of that, well, that's probably a good thing if you did that because watching TV is bullshit. I don't watch TV. I have old shows on Blu-ray. If I want to watch a movie, chances are it's probably something old because they don't have all that woke bullshit in it. But I watch very little of any entertainment stuff. If you don't have the progress report that you have encouraged yourself along the way and acknowledging where what you're learning didn't work in your hands that day, and then you say, I'm glad I had the opportunity to see this fail because now I can go in and discover more about what it is I didn't know at the time when I took this idea. You see that? Is that something that you as a child, if you watch your child try to do something, try to learn how to ride a bike, you took the training wheels off, you've been walking with them holding the seat, and now you want to let go, and you tell them, Timmy, Daddy's got you. But I know if I let go for a minute, you'll be fine. Trust it. Just keep pedaling. And you let go. And what happens if they panic and they fall down? Are you going to scold him? No. You're going to get him up, brush his knees off, his hands off, and say, hey, look, you know what? You did good this doing that right there. And you're not dead. You're not bleeding out. You didn't break a bone. But now let's get back on here and do it again. And they may fuss and say, I'm afraid. But what are you going to do? You're going to encourage them. That's what you do with yourself in your journal. You have to be a good parent in your journal. You are refining your future self. If you don't care about yourself, if you don't really love yourself, you're going to discover that in journaling. That's why these social media influencers are so fucking toxic. Because they hate themselves. They are not where they want to be at. And they are looking to outside influences, their audience members, to worship them and lift them up on a pedestal. Because they need that. They need that more than they need money. I don't need that, and I don't encourage it. And I don't need fucking money. And I'm teaching for free. I'm spending my Saturday morning with y'all. I'm hanging out with you on a non-monetized medium. Just talking, trying to encourage some friends of mine. That's all I'm trying to do here. But I bet you probably never thought about things like this. And that should be encouraging to you because chances are you were probably thinking about it differently and much more toxic and the metrics of measuring what your expectations were and what you're willing to put yourself through are far out of spec based on what I just said here. Isn't this a whole lot more comforting? If you approach your learning this way, would you not agree that yes, it takes some time to sit down and journal those things? If you don't want to do that, number one, it's shining a huge spotlight on the fact that you don't care enough about yourself and your future success to even consider it. But you're probably the same person that can entertain the idea of going to college. You probably were willing, unless you got a scholarship or your dad and parents paid for your college, you took on student debt that you can't write off, just like taxes. I mean, you can't escape it. But you were willing to go through the process of putting yourself into long-term debt on something you were not even assured was going to be a profitable venture for you. Yeah, I want to be a marine biologist. Yeah, I want to be a psychologist. I want to study philosophy. Why the fuck do people go to college to get a degree in philosophy? I don't understand that. You read the Bible, read some, well maintained texts, and you're going to get a better understanding of philosophy than you would from these bullshit indoctrination centers. But you're willing to put yourself through that 4 years or longer if you're going for a higher degree, PhD, master, something to that effect, to get to the degree of what I'm showing you with technical science. You want to get a PhD in technical science through ICT, the College of ICT, the School of Hard fucking Knocks, because that's what this is. We don't have campus fucking parties. We don't have keg parties. We don't throw TP over the fucking trees and get drunk. We take it serious around here. We are, if trading had colleges,